What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Roxamore Sports Network for Game 2 of the evening. We finished up in the women's division, Allderdice getting a big win. Now we're here in the men's division. The Allderdice Dragons taking on the Westinghouse Bulldogs. Travis Newton alongside Sam Timbers. And Sam, it wasn't much of a contest in the first game, but I think we're going to get a little bit better of a matchup here.
Yes, we're looking for a better matchup between the Westinghouse Bulldogs and the Allderdice Dragons in the men's division. Looking to be a little bit more contested as well. We know the Allderdice Dragons are the 1 seed, and we know the Westinghouse Bulldogs are the 4 seed. We know that the Allderdice Dragon has 2 great players in Blake Hibbard and Tony Henderson.
Yep. And coming in right now for Allderdice, looking for their 7th straight City League championship. A chance to do that here tonight to advance to the final to go to Pitt to play their final game. But like you mentioned, these 2 scores, what can you tell me about those 2 players for this team and why they stand out for this Allderdice squad?
Well, Tony Henderson is a big-time player down low, a slasher, a guy that knows how to get to the rim, a guy who knows how to create his own shot. And Blake Hibbard knows how to shoot the 3, knows how, as you say, tickle the twine and from the arc. So those 2 players are the ones that we are primetime players that need to be looked out for by the Westinghouse Bulldogs.
And for this Westinghouse team, we actually saw them in the Stand Against Violence tournament. Not really any players that stand out as far as the scoring aspect, but they play great team basketball.
Yes, they do, with a cohesiveness, with being unselfish, and again, like team basketball, there's no I in team, so everybody is accounted for. Everybody gets in the stat sheet. Everybody, they might have 9 here, 1 player, 10 on another player, 6 on, may have, 1 player may have 6 points, so they do it collectively as a team.
And I do remember from that Stand Against Violence showcase, this Westinghouse team did struggle a little bit with the full court pressure. So we'll see if Allderdice has been watching the highlights because they struggled immensely with the full court pressure. Once they got into their half court set, they were fine. But both teams are going to want to run. Both teams are going to want to use their athleticism. It'll really just be who keeps or takes control of the ball. Less turnovers, the better. And who makes more shots is really going to see who's going to go and play in front of a lot of people for the City League Championship.
Yes, as we know, as the other men's division, Obama Academy came victorious over the Westinghouse Bulldogs over the Allderdice. Obama Academy won
over
by
Brashear.
10, over Brashear
Yep.
by 10, and it was a close game because they fought last time. So it was a heated, contested game. I heard tightly. And Obama Academy came out with the victory by 10.
All right. So we had the 1 seed Allderdice Dragons, the 4 seed Westinghouse Bulldogs. Make sure you stick tuned here on the Roxamore Sports Network. We'll be live in about 10 minutes. We'll see you there.
So we like to thank one of our sponsors here, Wilson's Night Out presents Wilson's Night Out. Get your tickets now and seen on Def Jam and Improv, starring Ty Mack, the Big Mac of Comedy, Saturday, February 15th. Show starts promptly at 8 p.m. $20 first drink included, kitchen open, group rates are available. 7365 Denison Avenue, Swissvale, PA, 15218. For info and tickets, call 412-727-133. That's Wilson's Night Out, and let them know Roxamore Sports told you all about it.
We'd also like to thank our sponsor, the Hill District Federal Credit Union. The Hill District Federal Credit Union has serviced the community for almost 50 years. Our purpose is to improve the financial health of our members so that we are not just surviving, but thriving. For more information on how to become a member, please stop in at 2021 Center Avenue, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15219, or give us a call at 412-281-0822. So we're just 2.5 minutes from tip-off here from Brashear High School, the City League semifinal. We'll be right back after this short break.
The Roxamore Sports Network starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you feel that? Tell me, can you feel that? You see it coming? Yeah, let me help you with your vision. They losing their sight here. Time to send the world a message they might hear. Like Meek Mills, I'm making it quite clear. I'm chasing my dreams and fighting my nightmares. I'm going real hard. I'm talking words you understand. I'm talking real bars. I'm going everywhere you know. I'm talking real far. Yeah, it's time to raise a toast to this thing to the love the most. As I go from coast to coast, I'm talking north side, I'm talking south side, I'm talking east side, I'm talking west side. I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, it's time to let you know how I spit it when I flow. When I go and light a fuse and I set to let it blow. I'm talking worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, time to check my status and the GOAT is what it be. And you know I'm over 30, so my level is a G. And I may be from the hood, but I'm way beyond these streets. And my pockets hate a diet, so they always down to eat. Even though they screaming fame, and it's always spelling me. And I'll never hang it up till my mission is complete. And I'm looking at you haters, I suggest you take a seat. Cause it's all fun and games till a killer show his teeth. This is for them cats that be screaming homies. Claiming that you're real, but we know you're phony. Now I'm chillin' with my sons, they my one and only. Like the Turner brothers, yeah, we screamin' lions only. Step into this den, I welcome all who will dare. Never met a David, tell me whom shall I fear? Gotta rep the nation, black and gold is what I wear. If you look to your left, to your right, I'm everywhere. I'm talking north side, I'm talking south side, I'm talking east side, I'm talking west side. I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide, I'm going worldwide. Yeah, it's time to let you know how I spit it when I flow.
We are back, and here we are live here on the Roxamore Sports Network, live from Brashear High School. Travis Newton alongside Sam Timbers, and as the top-ranked Taylor Allderdice basketball Dragons taking on the Westinghouse Bulldogs. Taylor Allderdice coming in with a record of 17-5. After the previous season, they lost their head coach. Their two best players went to college, but they are back and better than ever, led by Devin Crummy. And on the other side for the Westinghouse Bulldogs, they're coached by Eugene Wilson. They come in with a record of 6-10, 4-5 in the conference, as they are introducing the starting lineups here from Brashear High School. And Sam, we're just minutes away from tip-off here. An exciting game here in the semifinal. What are you looking forward to between these both of these teams?
I'm looking forward for the Westinghouse Bulldogs to use their athletic ability. They're the smaller team, but to be the scrappier team, to get some turnovers, get some points in transition. But as we spoke about earlier in the pregame, to be able to handle the press too and the pressure as well. For the Allderdice Dragons, it's all about the two guys that we named earlier, The offense runs through Tony Harris, the slasher, as they just called his name out just now, number 10. And also number 32, Blaine Hibbert. He's a primetime scorer as well. So looking for Allderdice, and Allderdice to impose their will, being bigger than them as well.
And for Westinghouse, we've seen Rafiq Sermons before in the Stand Against Violence showcase alongside Troy Lanier. Those are really the two leaders of this offense and defense for the Westinghouse Bulldogs, as we are set for a great matchup here in the Pittsburgh Public Schools City League semi-final matchup from Brashear High School.
Mr. Coach Crummey is the son of the athletic director and the head coach, used to be our Central Catholic, Mr. Crummey. So he's taking a page from his dad as well as being a good coach, turning this Allderdice program around, as you spoke about, 7 times, as he's a new head coach. So he's just falling in line as we're about to have the tip-off.
So here we go, Allderdice in white, Westinghouse in blue, live on the Roxamore Sports Network. Allderdice setting up on the defensive side. Looks like they're going to be in a man-to-man defense. Westinghouse winning the opening tip and being patient on their opening possession, looking to get a good one to put up the first points of the game. And getting it to fall, number 15, Jaden Bass drops it for 2.
A nice slash and move inside, puts it up over the defender, gets the fortuitous bounce and rolls in.
And by body type, number 12, Sean Graves, looks like he'd be the point guard on this team, but he's not really sharing the ball and letting anyone bring it up. As number 32, Blake Haber, drops the first shot he sees.
Blake Haber, we told you he can tickle the twine, shoots the 3 and hits it.
Active hands on the defensive side for the Allderdice Dragons. See if they can convert off the turnover. Had numbers initially, and then an arid pass trying to go behind the back. Lanier, nice dish, and a foul going to the line for 2 for Westinghouse will be Avery Wise, the 6'1 senior forward.
Tony Henderson goes up and says, not in my house, gets the block, but the body on the foul with the body, that's number 4 for Westinghouse, going to the line, Mr. Wise.
And Sam, before the game, we were talking about notable alumni that used to play in this gym. Of course, you were telling me about Major Harris. On the side of Allderdice, some notable alumni, not exactly on the sports side of things, but on the musics, they certainly have a lot of all-stars. Wiz Khalifa and Mac Miller both call Taylor Allderdice their home.
Sir, yes, sir.
Tony Henderson getting hounded at the half-court line. He will draw the foul. That'll be the first on the Bulldogs of Westinghouse. And you can tell they have Jaden Bass. He's following Henderson stride for stride, and it looks like he's going to be his responsibility throughout the night as we get a switch here on the back screen. So it's a 4-3 lead for the 4th-seeded Westinghouse Bulldogs. Allderdice looking for an answer. Nothing but net from 3. That's number 11, Josephat Mukogasi, pure from beyond the arc.
Yes, he had a nice release, nice look, drained it, puts it in.
Lanier trying to draw contact on the step-through layup attempt, won't get it. Westinghouse on the break once again. Haber thought about the 3. Mukogasi lost it. Missed on the layup. A couple of follows and getting it to go. Tony Henderson, the short-handed shooter, getting active down on the glass and gets the easy deuce.
That's a nice pass by Josephat. Catches the tip and goes right to Tony Harris. He goes up and hits it as Westinghouse Bulldogs breaks the pressure from Allderdice.
And not exactly a sellout crowd here at Brashear High School, but it is loud. There's a lot of echoes in this low-ceiling gym.
Yes, Allderdice High School brings the cheerleaders. They look like they might have got about 25 or 30 over there.
Nice pump fake inside by Lanier, draws the foul. The bucket won't go, so he'll go to the line for 2.
That's Troy Lanier with the up fake. Get the defender up in the air, goes up. Defender comes down and fouls him. He goes to the line shooting, too. They need a lot out of him tonight to be successful against this Allderdice Dragon team.
And we talked in the pregame about the height advantage for the Dragons. It's really not a glaring one, but consistently 1 through 5, they have pretty tall players.
Yes, they do.
So Troy Lanier, the 6'3 senior, missed his first free throw attempt and unable to convert there. Misses them both. So the lead stays at 3 for Allderdice. A nice take inside. Tony Henderson absorbs contact and gets the bucket to drop.
Yes, leads in and drives, takes the hit and puts it in. Could have been an and one, but the ref let him play. He's a slasher, as we spoke about earlier.
So checking in now for the first time will be Kyer Henning for the Allderdice Dragons. The 6'3 junior making his first appearance, and will be guarding the point guard. And now it looks like Allderdice gonna fall back into a 2-3 zone. Looking for a trap in the corner now, a deep 3 up front iron. Tipped around and out of bounds. Ball stays with Westinghouse.
Our number 15 for Westinghouse skied up pretty high for that. Jaden Bass.
Now Jaden Bass taking it inside. Almost got it. The ball lingering on the rim. Won't get the and one, but a chance to score 2 for his team here as they trail by 5. The score is 10-5 with 4:43 left in the first.
I would like to see him on a run out. He looked like he's a high riser at Bass. But you spoke about the height of Allderdice, and Allderdice 6'3", 6'3", 6'3", 6'3", 6'3", 6'3", 6'6", so they had some height on their roster. And as you said, from 1 through 5, I believe all of them are 6 foot and up.
And obviously we did get a little spoiled in the MLK Stand Against Violence showcase, seeing teams sub in players coming off the bench at 6'10", so we're going to get a little bit shorter here in the Pittsburgh public realm, but still this team has some consistent height. Like you mentioned, a couple at 6'3", a player at 6'6", so definitely use those taller players to assert themselves on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. And now we're going to get a foul called way away from the ball. They're going to charge that one to Amiri Richardson.
So side out Allderdice.
After the foul, it'll be Allderdice inbounding. Getting it low into the block, lost real estate. Kick out, nice look inside, and a foul called. Tony Robinson going back to the line.
That's a nice look, that's a nice job, nice pass by Kyer Herring, looking for Tony Henderson in the paint, goes to the hole to get it up.
It looked like he was going up for the shot, but Henderson's gonna inbound it instead from the baseline. Gets it to his teammate, a wide open corner 3, rattles in and out, rebound to the Bulldogs.
It was an and one, could have been an and one or could have been shooting 2.
And no lack of confidence there for Jaden Bass, going right at the defender, couldn't convert on the layup attempt. We've already seen here from Tony Henderson, one thing about his game that I really like is his movement without the ball, finding the gaps in that defense. Of course, he's terrific with the ball, but does a good job finding open spaces against the defense without it.
Yes, he's a mover as we speak about. He just cut down the lane.
And now a turnover for Allderdice. 1v1, blocked from behind. Get it out of here, says Sean Graves, as he sends it out of bounds, but possession sticking with the Bulldogs.
Yeah, took that shot and blocked it. That was number 11. Toss a fat on Goosey. Blocks the shot. Westinghouse takes it out under their own basket.
So a couple of subs now coming in for Allderdice. They like to run a wide open rotation. Cameron Edmonds is one of them, but here we have Tony Hamilton altering the ball, maneuvering it in the air, and gets it to go for 2. Tony Henderson.
Tony, what a slasher he is. Goes in with a defender hanging on him. Shoots it, takes the contact and puts it in. He's a slasher. He's a primetime player, Tony Henderson.
And Darius Bruce now, he just came into the game and he's already getting heckled by the cheerleaders for Allderdice as he took a spill into the little cheerleader section there. It's a good way to get yourself introduced to the game.
Especially with all them cheerleaders, the Allderdice bot.
Let's see if Tony Henderson has more in the bag. He's come out showing he's willing to score early. A nice pull-up jumper gets it to go. Number 14, Cameron Edmonds coming into the game and getting an early bucket.
The nice shot from the charity stripe. Got the roll off the rim.
Dangerous pass, eventually intercepted by Allderdice. And Tony Henderson just too easy, and we're going to get a timeout by the head coach for the Westinghouse Bulldogs. Daniel Wright not happy with his team and how they're letting Tony Henderson get anything he wants at the rim.
Yeah, he has a nice drive as he leans in and takes the hit every time and puts it in, keeps the ball away from the defender, uses his height.
So it's going to be a full timeout here called by Westinghouse. They trail by 10 early on, and my prediction was correct. We're having a more tightly contested game here in the men's than we did in the women's. Of course, Allderdice rolling all over their opponent in the Carrick Raiders. But a closer one here, still a double-digit lead for Allderdice, 16-10 with 2:32 left in the first quarter. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break here on the Roxamore Sports Network. Stay tuned for the rest of this first quarter coverage.
Trouble can find anyone. At Frank Walker Law, we take the time to understand your situation and work tirelessly on your behalf. Hard-hitting representation when you need it the most. A real law firm getting real results.
Welcome back to the Roxamore Sports Network. Travis Newton here with the Lumberjacks, Sam Timbers. The score is 16-6 with 2:30 remaining here in the first quarter of play, and it's going to be Westinghouse ball coming off the timeout called by Coach Daniel Wright.
Allderdice comes out with full court pressure.
We talked about it in the pregame. Westinghouse struggled in the MLK Classic with the full court pressure, and here it pays off for the Dragons going at the hoop. Put it up softly with the left hand, maybe a little bit of afraid of the contact there. But in the end, it's going to be a jump ball. Position sticks with the Dragons.
Yes, as we spoke about, they couldn't handle the pressure. They get a turnover. That is Allderdice takes it in. I believe Edmonds should have took that in a little stronger and got to 2 points.
So Coach Devin Crummy going to give most of his starters a break here with the 10-point lead. Tony Henderson sitting on the bench and filling right in where the starters are gone. Rob Jones, 6'1", with the three.
Yes, a nice shot there by Rob Jones as he catches the ball, ready to shoot. It's nice to get the assist when you're ready to shoot at the arc.
And short breaks here for Tony Henderson. Just a few seconds on the bench now. He checks back in.
And Amani Richardson checks in for Westinghouse, number 5.
So let's see if Westinghouse can find an answer. They trail by 13, 19-6. Rafiq Sermon's a wild-looking shot, tossing it up with the right hand. Gets it to go off the glass for the deuce. Now stepping into the jumper, a fight for the ball. Wild pass, out of bounds, possession back to Westinghouse.
That was a nice hustle by Edmonds, but threw the ball away. They couldn't control it.
Now taking the three was Amari Richardson. And what a deep roster this is for the Allderdice Dragons. We're now seeing the 9th player come into the game, so almost a full rotation for Allderdice as they're showing a very deep bench early on here in the first quarter.
And as you spoke about the bench, that's number 20. Cam Butcher just comes in for the Dragons, seeing his first appearance.
Westinghouse struggling to get the ball in from the baseline inbounds. They'll get it in, compose. The Dragons still in that 2-3 defense. Ball slapped out of bounds. Possession sticks with the Bulldogs.
Good defense by Cam. Had it rolled out off his foot.
Once again, we're here at Brashear High School, neutral site for the Pittsburgh Public City League semifinal playoff game here between Allderdice and Westinghouse. The Allderdice women's team will be playing at the Peterson Event Center on Saturday. The men's team looking to book their ticket as well for the championship game. The winner of this game will be taking on the Obama Academy team, who won earlier this evening. And once again, Rafiq Sermon's doing a good job of getting in the paint and finishing, showing some nice touch, getting the roll off back iron.
Yeah, he's splitting the defenders out top and finding his way inside the paint with the teardrop and getting a fortuitous roll.
So we're here, final minute of the first quarter. A 9-point lead for Allderdice, and another foul called away from the ball. This one's going to be called on Tony Henderson, an offensive foul. Actually, check that. It's going to be on Josephat Mukogasi.
So Allderdice has the pressure again. Let's see how Westinghouse Bulldogs handle it.
It's not the most immense pressure ever, but just making them be careful with their passes, which their passes have been very sloppy on this possession, and now a block from behind gives the ball back to Allderdice.
That's a nice block by number 11, Josephat.
Mukogasi kick out, corner three. Off the mark, and now Westinghouse on the run once again, time ticking down. It's a little bit out of control here. A team that certainly likes to use their speed, but there's a difference between using your speed and being wild on the break, and that time we saw them a little bit out of control.
Yes, coming down, a little bit out of control, loses the ball, throws it out of bounds. And we have Troy Lanier shaking his head, one of the teammates.
So Blake Haber checking back in now for the Dragons, a chance to hold for the final shot with a plethora of scores. Let's see who they put it in the hands of. Tied up. Pulling it out, thought about the three. Has to get it up, and no good as the siren sounds. But going into the first quarter break, it's a commanding lead for the Allderdice Dragons. They're ahead 19-10.
And this is Roxamore Sports, and we'll be right back.
Come out of Shear High School, the neutral site for the Pittsburgh Public City League semifinal game between the Allderdice Dragons and the Westinghouse Bulldogs. Travis Newton alongside Sam Timbers. And Sam, they talked about Tony Henderson to start the game and how he can be a problem on the offensive side, and he's been nothing but that to start the first quarter.
Yes, he's been slashing to the basket, getting points, leaning in. He seems to get to the basket anytime he wants, to create his own shot and make something happen. But as you spoke about, he moves very well without the ball, too, to present himself.
So now going to the line to start the second quarter, it's going to be Malik Robinson. Robinson, a 5'11 junior guard here for the Dragons.
Tony Harris just checks back into the game.
Like we mentioned earlier, a very deep roster and a deep bench here for the Allderdice Dragons. Is usually a couple strategies you can use with teams that have deep benches. Sometimes you see the hockey line change sort of substitution where you bring in 5 at a clip. But Coach Crummy here just using one or two players rotating every couple minutes, and it's really been keeping the legs fresh here for this Dragons team. And it can create problems where players struggle to find a groove, but there's been no struggles here early on for this Allderdice team.
Yes, it seems like this strategy is working. Probably use the same strategy all year, getting players in. 17-5 record. I'm sure they might have had some blowouts where they could have got some players in. Everybody's getting some rec here tonight as they're up by 10.
Troy Lanier putting his head down on that drive. He's going to go to the foul line for two. Westinghouse has struggled from the free throw line as the struggles continue, bricking the first one off back iron.
Substitution, as we spoke about, that's your fat, Lugasi. For Tony Harris, give Tony Harris a break.
So a 10-point lead here for Allderdice, and Lanier is going to miss them both, so the free throw struggles continue as Allderdice looking to push the pace. Now they slow it down. Mukogasi, no good from three-point territory. And now a nice move by Rafiq Sermons. The 3-on-2 break, the pass, the bucket, the foul, and a chance at a three-point play.
That's a nice play, nice drive, nice dish. Two on the dime. Rafiq Simmons has zero down low with a slasher cutting to the hoop, and he goes up strong, takes the and one for the conventional three-point play, trying to get it.
So Agent Zero getting the old-fashioned three-point play there for Westinghouse. Now he's going to try and show off the defensive prowess, pounding the Allderdice offense. A three-point attempt, bang, that's good. The Dragons answer back with a three of their own.
That's Cam Butcher with the three. He was set up. Shot that like he had ice water in his veins. No hesitation.
Trying to feed it inside once again to number 0. A turnover for Westinghouse, and Allderdice putting the track shoes on and running the 100 meters back down the court. Mukogasi thought about another three. Pass it to short corner, great ball movement. Off the mark there, but kept in bounds. Great hustle by the Dragons. That was number 20 after he saved it. Cam Butcher trying to get another three. Won't get that one to go.
That was Darius Bruce on the shot for Westinghouse Bulldogs.
They have him logged here as number 10, so he must have had a quick wardrobe change before the game. But Darius Bruce coming out here in the second quarter and showing out. As ball on the ground. It's going to be a jump ball. Possession goes to the Westinghouse Bulldogs.
So we have a nice ball game here in the second period as Westinghouse came out and hit a couple shots, 23-16 with 5:36 left in the second period. We have some substitutions.
So the largest lead of the night thus far for Allderdice has been 11. They lead by 7 now over the Westinghouse Bulldogs. This is a 1 versus 4 matchup from Brashear High School here in the City League from Pittsburgh Public. And now Westinghouse starting to heat up in the second quarter. Rafiq Sermons, the leading scorer, he's catching fire. Let's see if Allderdice can answer. The pull from 3, no good, and a strong rebound by Troy Lanier.
And that's Bass takes it in, and Westinghouse is off and running. Down by 2.
A good answer here and a strong message by the coach, but a nice take there by Rob Jones, going strong to the bucket, using his body as a shield and getting 2 to stop that run by Westinghouse.
So we on Allderdice.
So we got some drama here from Brashear High School. Now a 4-point lead for Allderdice, 25-21. But a lot of life here by the Westinghouse Bulldogs.
Yeah, so you can take this game. This is playoffs. You can take the records out the window. It's going to be some good. It's going to be some good ball play here tonight. We're looking for a tight game.
Troy Lanier 0 for 4 from the charity stripe in this game. It has not been his day getting the easy ones. So Allderdice looking to slow down their offense now, and surprised to not see Tony Robinson in the lineup, but a nice pull-up jumper, a long two there by number 23, Kyer Henning.
If you see the crossover and set itself up, shook the guy out of his shoes and pulled up.
We talked about the deep lineup, 1 through 10 getting it done. Henning coming off the bench, but showing himself as a prolific scorer. That three-point attempt off the mark. And now here comes Allderdice once again, a nice push-ahead pass. Good defense, active hands for the Bulldogs. Rafiq Sermons taking it in tough, drawing the foul on the arm, and now we'll go to the line for the pair.
Yeah, Rafiq Simmons plays good D down on one side, takes it all the way coast to coast, tries to go to the hoop, gets fouled. We have a timeout, Westinghouse.
And we see Coach Crummy having a conversation with Tony Henderson on the bench. He doesn't seem too pleased about being on the bench right now. So with 3:52 left here in the second period, we'll send it to Sam for the quick sponsorship read.
Wilson's Night Out presents Wilson's Night Out. Get your tickets now, as seen on Def Jam and Improv, starring Tom Mack, the Big Mac of comedy. Saturday, February 15th, show starts promptly at 8 o'clock. $20 first drink included, kitchen open, group rates available. 7365 Denison Avenue, Swissville, PA, 15218. For info and tickets, call 412-723-1333. That's Wilson's Night Out, and let them know that Roxamore Sports Network told you all about it.
We'd also like to thank the Hill District Federal Credit Union for being a sponsor here on the Roxamore Sports Network. The Hill District Federal Credit Union has serviced the community for almost 50 years. Our purpose is to improve the financial health of our members so that they are not just surviving, but thriving. For information on how to become a member, please stop in at 2021 Center Avenue, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15219, or give us a call at 412-281-0822. So the Allderdice Dragons looking for their 7th straight City League championship. They're on 6th straight, but a new coach in Devin Crummy in his first year at the helm for the Dragons. His team came out hot, but a second quarter answer here for Westinghouse. It brought them within 2. Now they're down 7. A chance to bring it in closer, and they do with Rafiq Sermons at the free throw line.
And Rafiq Sermons is the one that's set the spark for them. Hit a couple shots down the lane, got a couple steals. Also got fouled, and he's at the free throw as well. He's playing good ball in the second quarter.
And Sermon showing he's not afraid, going to the hoop with the power. A little bit undersized, but don't tell him that. Tony Henderson's been on the bench for a minute. He now checks back in, puts up the corner 3. Nice deflection by Sermons. Oh, and look at the hustle, fight for the ball. Getting a little chippy, but we're going to get a traveling violation called on Darius Bruce. He can't believe it.
That was a nice scrap by Darius Bruce.
And after the scrum for the ball, Coach Crummy is going to call a timeout of his own. His team has a 5-point lead, as Darius Bruce still not happy with that call on the court. He's letting the officials know that he thought he had possession and his feet were planted firmly on the ground. If anything, it looked like there may have been a foul on the fight for the ball there once Darius Bruce got it.
Yes, I did not see the travel as well. I thought he came out the ball clean. And I'm agreeing with you, Travis. If it was anything, it was a foul.
And Sam, this has been a great second quarter for the Westinghouse Bulldogs. What are you liking from their game here in the second that's really brought them close here to Allderdice?
What I like is that there's no fear in the paint as they come down the lane. Darius Bruce particularly has no fear, as you spoke about, getting the teardrops in the lane. driving, splitting the two defenders out top. Also on the defensive side of the ball, he's creating some turnovers too as well. Westinghouse seemed to be a little bit more scrappy for the ball now, for the loose balls, and trying to get some points inside too as well.
And Allderdice hitting some early threes. It looks like they fell in love with that shot, and it hasn't paid off for them lately. It's been a part of their cold streak here in the second period. Look for them to get back to attacking the hoop with Tony Henderson. He's shown that he can score it about any way whenever he's going towards the rim. So let's see if they can get a high ball screen for him and get him involved here in their offensive set. They're going to take another three-point shot. That one's short. And here comes Bruce fast on the run. He went for the slam, but just not quite enough lift. And so what should have been an easy bucket for Bruce turns into 2 points for the Dragons, and his coach is going to tell him just because you elevate doesn't mean you celebrate. Just Bruce not getting up high enough there for the jam.
Yes, this Rob Jones, number 33 for Allderdice, has a silky smooth game. Real soft game, makes subtle moves, but he's able to get himself open and hit the shot in the lane.
So let's see if the Bulldogs have an answer. They brought it within 2 here in the second quarter. Now it's back to 7, 30-23 with 2:45 remaining. And if you're Coach Crummy, you have to be upset with that one. You can't foul jump shooters, especially when they're behind the arc. It's going to be a chance for 3 points from the free throw line for Troy Lanier, but he has struggled throughout this game from the charity stripe.
Yeah, you don't want to foul the big guy way out there behind the arc shooting the three.
So I
think they're saying he's shooting two. I'm not sure.
We'll see. He was well beyond the three-point line. Yeah, they're going to say he only has one more shot left, so it looked like he was a good couple feet behind the three-point line there, but they're just going to give him 2 shots.
I don't know what they were seeing here. We was just talking about that. He was well behind the arc. He should be shooting 3 free throws.
So a tough break for Westinghouse. Lanier didn't really argue it much. Tony Henderson draws a triple team. Good ball movement. Now the three-pointer sinks it. That's number 11 once again, Josephat Mukogasi.
Mukogasi hits the three. And as you spoke about, it seems like Allderdice are settling for the threes behind the arc.
Now it's turning into a 3-point shootout. Henderson puts him in the spin cycle, draws the foul. And now goes to the line, a chance to add to his point total. He'll get 2 chances at it.
That was a nice move Henderson made. I wonder if he would have just pulled up and took the little jump shot right there instead of going to the finish, but it all works out because he goes to the charity strike.
Henderson showing the nice touch on the shot, gets the first one to go. So the lead back to 10 for Allderdice. They absorbed that body blow early on in the second period, and it's really been a slow period here. Still 2:07 remaining in the first half. A lot of fouls and a lot of trips to the charity stripe. But they absorbed that body blow. And of course, basketball is a game of runs. They took that run by Westinghouse and have answered back now with an 11-point lead.
So we had some substitutions by Allderdice. Number 20, Cam Butcher, and number 14 comes back in the game. That's Cameron Edmonds.
Mukogasi has had the hot hand from behind the arc here in the first half. See if they can get him involved with Henderson off the floor.
So we have Darius Bruce out top.
Good job getting in that passing lane, tips it away, but ball trickles out of bounds. Possession sticks with the Bulldogs in blue and yellow.
That was Kyer Herring out there, tipping the ball out, anticipating the lane.
So Rafiq Sermons, the floor general here for the Westinghouse Bulldogs, going to slow things down and initiate the offense. Allderdice, as they have throughout most of the game, settling into that 2-3 zone, active hands on the perimeter.
Jaden Bass.
And Bass, we saw him get hot in the first period and a little bit into the second. He's been quiet here in the later parts of the second. Meets at the rim, a nice block by Muko Gassi. Good ball movement once again. That three-pointer is airballed. It's getting a little bit chippy down here in the paint. Now Troy Lanier's going to try a three. And once again, they say it's a two, so they got it wrong on the first one where he went to the free throw line and should have had 3 attempts and only got 2. And this time, it looked like once again he was well behind the arc and they called it a 2-point shot.
I got to see what size shoes he's wearing because they keep calling 2 points, and he looks like he's behind the 3-point line.
So the lead now to line 9 for the Dragons. It looks like they're going to try and hold it for the final shot of the quarter, but before they get a chance, it's going to be a foul. That'll be the 7th foul, so Muko Gassi is going to head to the line for 1 in the bonus. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us this evening here on the Roxamore Sports Network. Game 2 of the evening. Of course, the Allderdice women's team punched their ticket to the city final from the Peterson Event Center. They destroyed the Carrick Raiders 85-14. Allderdice.
It was in easy but dramatic fashion.
So Muko Gassi doing a good job converting at the free throw line. So now 23 seconds left for the Bulldogs. Now they have a chance to hold for the last shot.
37-26 left.
Head coach Daniel Wright calling out his offensive set. Rafiq Sermons wanted a foul. Now here comes the Dragons with time running out, getting the easy bucket to go on the fast break. Kyer hitting. And now it's going to be a heave from the three-point line. Troy Lanier can't get it to go. So we go to the half. Allderdice with the lead over the Westinghouse Bulldogs, 39-26. We'll take a short commercial break here on the Roxamore Sports Network and bring it right back for the halftime report. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Roxamore Sports Network here for the halftime report. Travis Newton alongside Sam Timbers in a fast-paced first half. So we have the score 39-26. Allderdice got off to the early lead, but a late body blow there in the second period. But Allderdice answered back. What'd you like from their play in the first half?
Allderdice in the first half in the first period came out shooting the threes, draining the threes, and then Tony Henderson, the big-time player, the slasher, was creating his own creating his own shot, getting to the lane, taking the hits, but making the shots. And also, he's a great player without the basketball. Move to create a good shot for him as well. And for the Westinghouse Bulldogs, they were a little bit lackadaisical in the first period, but they came out in the second period with a punch. As you said, basketball is a game of runs, but Allderdice took the punch and then extended the lead before the half.
And we really talked about the offensive play by Rafiq Sermons. He just puts his head down and goes to the hoop. You got to love that offensive tenacity. But it was Darius Bruce coming off the bench and making a name for himself here in the second period. He gave that spark to the Westinghouse team. What did you like from his play as he really ignited that scoring run for the Bulldogs?
What I liked about it is that he was going to the paint, not worried about the size, but trying to get inside, trying to make some things happen, get a foul, get an and one, go to the free throw. And so Simmons and Darius Bruce have been a spark in the second period to bring the Bulldogs, keep this game kind of close.
Once again, the winner of this game will punch their ticket to the championship game from the Peterson Event Center. Well, they'll be taking on the Obama Academy. We see a few players from the Obama Academy in the stand, so they're getting their scouting report ready. Allderdice is going to be a lot to handle, but Westinghouse, they certainly have the ability to make a run here in the second half and contend for a championship themselves.
Yes, Westinghouse can, or Westinghouse is still in this game. This game isn't over yet. There's two more halves, and so Westinghouse can definitely get out of here with a win if they play right. But Allderdice is a lot to handle, as we spoke about. From their 1 to 5 is all 6-foot players, and they're all big-time players too as well. And their rotation is 9 deep or 10 deep, and each one of them can score. Each one of them makes an impact in the game.
So once again, we'd like to thank you for joining us here on the Roxamore Sports Network Halftime Report. Stay tuned. We're just minutes away from second half action. Allderdice versus Westinghouse. We'll be right back.
Pardon me, ma'am. My Sound Wireless Delivery, the Line Edition?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Roxamore Sports Network. We're just seconds away from the start of the second half here from Brashear High School. Travis Newton alongside Sam Timbers. And Sam, we discussed the game at the halftime report, but one player we didn't mention was Blake Haber. We were just talking about him. Not much action from him for someone who had all the hype coming into this game. Let's see if they can get him involved in the second half and maybe create a little bit of more offensive scoring through Haber.
Yes, as he started, he was the starting five, and then he came out. He didn't get much playing time. He was put in sporadically. But when he hit his first three, as we spoke about, it drained it. But again, looking for him to heat up in the second half.
So it's a 13-point lead for the Dragons of Allderdice High School, 39-26. And here we go to start the third period of play from Brashear High School, the City League Pittsburgh Public Schools semifinal championship. Winner punches their ticket to the Peterson Event Center to take on the Obama Academy.
As we spoke about how Tony Henderson moves very well without the ball, going to the lane, took a hit, almost had an and one, but missed it. He'll go to the line shooting two.
Quick whistle from the sideline inbounds. See if Henderson can convert. He's perfect from the free throw line today, 5 for 5, looking to make it 6 for 6.
Yeah, he has a nice stroke at the free throw. Look like he has good muscle memory. Just goes in, bang, 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 and shoots it up.
So coming out of the half, let's see what the coach's message was for Westinghouse. They trail now by 15, 41-26. Troy Lanier trying to muscle his way inside. Tosses it up for the alley-oop attempt. No good, but an offensive rebound.
Lanier looks like he needs to be down low a little bit. He's a big man out top. I don't know if he's a guard, but it looks like they might need his presence down low.
Kick out. We know he can shoot. Muko Gassi left that one a little bit short. Tried to kick it inside to Haber, but that pass tipped away. Now Lanier running the point guard responsibilities, zigzagging through the defense, but couldn't finish with his offhand. Haber, kick out, corner three, good. Tony Henderson.
Tony Henderson drains it, shows you that he can do it inside and outside. Hits the three. As we was in the MLK tournament, we seen a 6'6" guard from Butler who's going to Purdue, will bring the ball down too. So maybe that's Lanier's game for the Westinghouse Bulldogs.
And the Dragons, you can tell, were fed up after that second quarter push by Westinghouse. Their lead now pushed to 18, 44-26 with 6:20 remaining in the third period. And the head coach, Daniel Wright, for the Westinghouse Bulldogs, not impressed with how his team has responded here to start the second half. He's going to call a timeout. Yeah,
the coach a little frustrated, seeing Allderdice was on a run, pulling away with 6:23 in the third period, 44-26. Got to gather the troops, got to rally the wagons. So he calls a timeout just to get into his players' heads, see what's going on, and see if he can make some things happen. Slow down this train that Allderdice Dragons are on.
So just a 30-second timeout. The team in white and green looking for their 7th straight chip to the City League Championship. A new head coach coming off a roster that lost 2 players to the college game, but they've responded well this season. They have a very impressive record at 17-5. And they're getting it done here in the second half, but a nice turnaround jumper there.
Yeah, that's a nice shot. Marnie Richardson for Westinghouse in the paint.
Let's see if they can get Tony Henderson involved. But first, another three-point attempt. On fire is this Dragons team in the second half. That one getting drained by Rob Jones.
Rob Jones has a silky smooth game. It looks effortlessly for him. Shoots the three.
But once again, the Dragons with the height advantage. They have those 2 long-armed athletes on the perimeter, top of the 2-3 zone, making it hard for the ball handlers for this Bulldogs team. Lanier looking for an answer. Kick out, 3. Off back iron and a strong rebound by Henderson, soaring above the defense. Float game off the mark Henderson tried to follow it up, wouldn't get it to go. Lanier doing a good job fighting down in the paint. Couldn't get his first one to drop, but fought for it between two Dragons players, got the offensive rebound, and put it back up for the deuce.
And that was a nice play by him. Missed the shot, but goes back for the offensive rebound, gets it, puts it up. 47-30 in the third period. All Allderdice right now.
So 47-30, 4:48 remaining in the third, and why not try another three-point attempt? That was Muko Gassi, almost sunk it. It was halfway down before it came back out. Rafiq Sermon's trying a three of his own, way off the mark.
Missed everything. That was an ill-advised shot at that time.
Muko Gassi thought about the three, pump fake, drew the foul. We'll get a baseline inbounds coming up for the Dragons, and Cameron Edmonds checking into the game. So Sean Graves checks out. And we'll get a low sideline inbounds here. Tony Henderson draws a double team. Now Muko Gassi, too easy, found a way right to the hoop and finishes with the right hand.
It looked like the Red Sea parted for him. Was able to go right to the rim.
And this breakdown by the Westinghouse team has been mostly on the defensive side, just too easy for this Dragons offensive unit. Looking for the three there. Ball goes out of bounds. Rafiq Sermons tried to save it, but possession goes back to the Dragons of Allderdice.
So we're deep in the third period with 3:55 left, 49-30. Westinghouse is going to have to do something, chip away at this lead.
Both teams going for a shot at the City League Championship here for Pittsburgh Public Schools. A nice pump fake and take inside. That was number 33, Rob Jones. We saw him hit a three earlier, now doing it off the pump fake and a nice drive.
He has a nice game now, Rob Jones. It's very quiet, it's very subtle, but he gets it done. Pump fake, he gets to the rim, puts it in.
And a very stout-looking player. You can tell he's going to out-muscle about anyone he faces off against.
Definitely when you look at him, you think a football player.
Getting it upside to Haber, finishes on the reverse layup.
That was a nice move by Haber. Nice dime, too.
Rafiq Sermons, a circus-like attempt. That one way off the mark, even went over the backboard and out of bounds. So it appears it was tipped away, so possession's going to stick with the Bulldogs. Inbounding on the baseline, Amari Richardson. Tipped away, and watch out. Here comes Tony Henderson in a hard foul. Good job by keeping this crowd from erupting with a primetime dunk. Rafiq Sermons draws the foul and makes him work for the 2 points.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be a high riser on that play. Make something happen at the rim. But it was a great defense.
Tony Henderson's been perfect from the free throw line today. Gets the first one to go. Now a new player checking in. John Hornazes checking in for the first time today for the Dragons, who now have a 23-point lead just like that over Westinghouse. So the ladies team won by about 70 points, and now a quick 23-point lead for the Dragons men's team.
As I spoke about it earlier, both programs are ran very good, very tight. At one time when you looked on the schedule, Allderdice was always a win, but not no more.
Nice feed inside, but a traveling violation called. And Sam, we can talk all night about how well Allderdice has responded out of the second or after the halftime break, but really it's been a slow start to this half by Westinghouse. What do you want to see them improve on here as we continue through the later parts of this game?
Improve on all their shots, as we call them, bunnies. Make their shots when they're close to the rim. Be able to hit their free throws too as well, but try to create some offense. I like Darius Bruce and Simmons. I like those two guys to be able to work something out as well. Get these guys on picks and create some shots for them too as well.
So with Sermons at the free throw line and a chance for the pair, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us once again here on the Roxamore Sports Network. Remind you to check out our website at www.roxamoresports.com. Go to the schedule tab to see what we have going on throughout the month of February. The basketball season is coming to an end. It's been a great season, a lot of action, and of course the highlight of our year was the MLK Showcase, seeing some of the nation's top basketball talent and some of the best teams in the country. Reminder that you can always go back and watch the recaps of those games on the Roxamore Sports Network. Just go to the Watch Live link, scroll down through an archive of all of our games.
And we see some great talent at that MLK tournament. As you kept reminding me, the Maryland teams was up and the Pennsylvania team finally got a win with math, civics, and science.
In the overtime thriller, the team from Philly, math, civics, and science broke the seal for the Pennsylvania teams, but hey, I like that ratio for the Maryland teams continuing their dominance in the city of Pittsburgh. But we got two Pittsburgh teams here, the city squads. So a foul away from the basket. There'll be a baseline there. As this Allderdice cheerleading squad's not letting up, they're definitely providing ample amounts of noise here at Brashear High School.
That's right. They're definitely come to do their part too.
So after the foul, it's going to be a sideline inbounds for the Dragons. Haber faked the three, pull-up jumper mid-range off back iron. So a 22-point lead, 55-33 with 1.5 left here in the third period. And a traveling violation on Lanier.
As you hear Lanier very upset about the traveling call.
And I'm not sure if Lanier was even upset with the call. It looked like he was more upset with himself. Because the way the referee was looking at him, if he was talking to the official in that tone, it probably would have been a quick technical.
That's a good observation as Edmonds takes it in for Allderdice.
So Cameron Edmonds coming down, breaking the press with ease and gets the bucket to go. Darius Bruce, and just no answers for this Bulldogs team in the second half.
Yeah, Darius Bruce needs to knock that down.
And now it's Eric McClung pulling off the warm-up and getting his first time of the game.
And he seems to be very stout, too. I would say he might be playing some Allderdice football, too, as well.
So Allderdice going to slow things down here on the offensive side, work into their set. It's Haber with the ball, trying to work a one-on-one. A little bit of miscommunication there by the Dragons. Now they have a run out, and it's going to be an offensive foul. Good job standing in there by Cameron Edmonds.
Edmonds takes the charge, gives up the body. (57-33) with the time running out. We have a steal by.
Now back-to-back turnovers for the Dragons, getting a little bit sloppy with the ball here late in the third. Under a minute now. In the third period, Muko Gassi thought about the three. Lost his dribble, now gets it back. So kick out. Mukogasi thought about it, now takes a step inside the line, in and out on the 2-point attempt. Troy Lanier going to take it by himself, lobs it up, but really was looking to draw the foul rather than finish the bucket there.
Yeah, that was he took an ill-advised shot. I thought he should have went to the hole a little stronger than that.
McClung puts it up, no good. The offensive tip gets it to go. John Hornazis gets it at the buzzer and extends the lead for the Allderdice Dragons. They now lead 59-33 as we head to the final quarter of play from Brashear High School. We're going to go ahead and take a short break here on the Roxamore Sports Network. Stay tuned for final quarter action. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Roxamore Sports Network. Travis Newton here alongside Sam Timbers on the call. And just 8 minutes remain to decide who will be going to the City League Championship. And Sam, it was a hot start for the Dragons, a little bit of an answer in the second quarter by the Westinghouse Bulldogs, but it's been all Dragons here so far in the second half. What are you liking from their game coming out of the halftime break?
The Dragons imposing their will. Got a lot of Tony Henderson shooting threes. This Rob Jones, too, as well. 33's been making some plays.
Mukogasi looking to extend the lead. Tony Henderson, a nice offensive rebound. A little baby hook with the right hand, showing off every move he has in his bag.
He's showing out his whole arsenal, inside and out. Tony Henderson.
So we're nearing now a 30-point lead for the Allderdice Dragons as Westinghouse answers back temporarily with the easy layup.
Yeah, we spoke about the Lady Dragons blew the game away. It looks like the Allderdice men's division is trying to do the same here in the fourth period.
Stripping it away again to back-to-back turnovers for the Dragons. That's going to be a foul on the ground, so a baseline inbounds. Devin Crummy, the head coach here for the Allderdice Dragons, telling his team to stay active, don't take your foot off the gas pedal. As another three there. Darius Bruce, we saw him catch fire in the second quarter. They sure would like a little run on this one. Mukogasi, three, no good, in and out. Tipped away, possession 6 with the Dragons.
Yeah, I like how Allderdice comes down and they're finding the open man sitting at the arc.
And a whistle here by the referee. It looks like it'll be an inadvertent whistle. Westinghouse fans wanting a travel called on Haber. They're not going to get that one. So it'll be Tony Henderson now inbounding for the Dragons. Had a wide open player in the paint. Fades away from it. A tip by Henderson and now a foul. It's going to be a push-off on the Dragons.
The last call, when it was confusing, I thought it was a double dribble. But nevertheless, they gave it to Allderdice. But the ball never lasts.
So to be rolled inbounds for Westinghouse. Bruce going to try a three from way downtown. An unlimited range for the youngster. Pulls up on that jumper. It looks like we might end this game with a little offensive tutorial as Haber comes right back after the three and sinks a long two. Let's see him get it back in the hands of Bruce. He has the hot hand here in the fourth quarter. Got to keep a hand up on him. Throws it up off front iron, but an offensive rebound by Sermons. Sermon trying to go full jelly fan with the English on the spin. That shot's blocked. Cross-court pass. Haber again. Haber drills it. Pure from beyond the arc.
Haber starting to heat up in the fourth period. Got a good block down here in the paint. Hits the three down here.
And we were discussing when he's going to heat up, and he's finally getting a chance here in the fourth period. He's hit 2 shots in a row and starting to find his stroke. So the score back up to 66-41 with 5:29 remaining here in the final quarter of play. Once again, the winner will advance to the Peterson Event Center, home of the Pitt Panthers basketball squads, for a chance at a City League Pittsburgh Public School Championship.
Tony Henderson goes to the lane hard. I thought he was going to throw that one home. Thought he was going to turn it over, but he's fouled on the play, goes to the line, shooting 2.
So we're not exactly sure what the scoring total is for Henderson, but he's definitely got to be close to pushing 20. He's been showing off his offensive moves from the get-go in this one. And he's also taken a number of trips to the charity stripe where he's been perfect today. And he got that one to go, but a lane violation called on his teammate Muko Gassi. So that point will not count, but still a very commanding lead here for the Dragons.
What's good about Tony Henderson is that he shoots his free throws and makes them very.
A nice jump step, getting it inside, won't get the bucket to go. Now a battle for it, being tipped around. Some ping pong down there in the post, but the Bulldogs come out with it and get the bucket to go. See if he can get another one. Corner 3, Haber. Long this time, won't get 3 in a row.
It's Bruce.
So we're going to get a foul down in the paint. Rafiq Sermons, he's not going to give up. The lifeline of this Bulldogs team.
That was a nice hustle. Sermons making a move, gets inside. Get his shot blocked, but he gets fouled.
So Sermons taking his time at the free throw line, buries the first one. 24-point lead for the Dragons of Taylor Allderdice High School.
4:40 left in the fourth period, 68-44. All Allderdice.
We mentioned the Obama Academy winning their semifinal game. They played a little bit earlier, I believe, at 3:30. So they had the chance to make it to Brashear High School to watch this game. We see them up in the stands on the opposite side. So they'll be getting a good idea of who they're going to be going up against. Of course, they've played throughout the season a very competitive city league where all teams play each other. Good job on the offensive boards there by Haber. He gets a pair of offensive rebounds and then rewards himself with the bucket.
Haber looks like a good player right there.
Now Darius Bruce going hard to the rim. An offensive rebound on the side for the Bulldogs, and they get it to go. 3:55 left in the fourth in a 70-48 lead.
Haber.
Near turnover, Haber tried the 3 once again. And an errant pass there by Muko Gassi. As we have 2 new players checking in, we're going to get Sam Kelly and Raekwon Young checking in now for the Dragons.
Going deep on the bench for Allderdice.
And now another turnover. Challenging at the rim, but gets it to go. Went up for the dunk attempt. Saw he didn't have enough leg. So just kind of floated it up. So that'll extend the lead for the Dragons. The float attempt off the mark. Offensive rebound and gets it to go. Number 15, Jaden Bass.
Jaden Bass has some hops.
So it'll be the Dragons once again establishing their offensive set. A great feed inside. That was Cameron Edmonds with the dish and Sam Kelly with the bucket.
Sam Kelly gets on the stat sheet, coming off the bench, gets in off the glass. Haber is coming out. Number 22 comes in. I think Haber might be done for the night.
Haber had a slow start, but ends the night in double digits. So showing his contributions for the Dragons, and not the start he wanted, but he can definitely use this momentum to go into the next game. Here we come again, meeting him at the rim, gets the bucket to go. We've seen that now 2 times in a row. Kyer Henning getting in the passing lane and answering on the opposite side.
Allderdice is running away with this, anticipating the lanes, getting runouts, getting points in transition.
So now Westinghouse is going to slow it down. Rafiq Sermon's going to pull one from a different zip code as that hits the wire on top of the basket and will be deemed out of bounds.
John Hamez, number 42, comes in for Allderdice. Looks like he's a big player. I want to see. He's a senior, 6'3", 210.
So the Dragons just draining the clock right now. A 26-point lead, 76-50, make it a 28-point lead after that long 2 jumper. Nifty crossover there by Sermon's got the defender thinking about it, but unable to convert on the offensive side, and here come the Dragons once again. Kick out, 3, up, good. Number 30, Raekwon Young, taking it to the bank. And Sam, here in the 4th period, Westinghouse has just been really lazy on getting back on the defensive side. We see him taking these wild offensive shots and no one getting back, and that creates a lot of opportunities for this Dragons team.
Yeah, it looks like they're just playing free fall right now with a minute 52 left. They're just taking long shots. As Darius Bruce took the shot, nobody's down here to rebound. Most of his guys were still coming down, took the shot. A long 3, as you spoke about, NBA-style 3, misses it. And so that gives easy buckets for Allderdice in transition.
And Sam, the way this one's playing out, it looks like Allderdice is going to have the clean sweep here in this semifinal round. The women's team with a extremely easy victory over the Carrick Raiders. They won 85-14. And now the men's team looking to close out an emphatic victory as well. They lead by 32 now, 82-50. And both teams for Allderdice showing that they are offensive powerhouses, getting up the scores in the 80s.
Yes, they run a tight program down at Allderdice for the women's division and the men's division.
So Coach Devin Crummy telling his team not to foul. We're in garbage time here in the 4th quarter, and a huge lead for the Allderdice Dragons.
Darius Bruce just keeps chucking it up, being off the mark.
Now the Dragons on the push once again. Just under 90 seconds left in play here, and good hustle by both teams, scrapping for it on the ground. Puts it up and gets it to go. A strong grown man move by John Hornez.
John Hamez, 42, he's a senior, 6'3", 210. He looks like he's a grown man out there, though. But he was coming off the bench. He didn't start tonight.
So So Hornez will check out. And here comes the Dragons once again on the break. We're under a minute.
Luke Robinson, that's a nice steal, go coast to coast.
So a 36-point lead here for Allderdice. And now that one's going to be sent away, but a foul called on the arm will send the Bulldogs to the line for two.
All while this game is going on, I don't see Lanier in the game no more. He comes out. The Westinghouse Bulldogs, he's supposed to be the go-to player, the main guy, and he checks out early.
So now missing at the free throw line, Amari Bruce adding insult to injury. As his team trails big and realizes this is the end of their season.
Yes, and that's good that you brought that up because there's some seniors who may never play basketball again. It's the last time they may play, organized, while some of them might not go to college and play, some might do, but just to cherish the moments as seniors. So for this Westinghouse Bulldogs to make it this far, playing against Allderdice, these are cherished moments. Even if they lose tonight, even with the loss tonight, it's still a good season for the Westinghouse Bulldogs.
So adding to the point totalage here at the free throw line. Surprised they're sending these teams both to the line with just 38 seconds left and a commanding lead for the Dragons.
And for the Allderdice Dragon seniors, they move on. They still play. They have another day.
And this Allderdice team certainly has the ability to make some noise in the state championship rounds as well, not just in the city. So with time ticking down, it looks like the Dragons are gonna hold it. And we're gonna get another foul there, really for no reason, but
I would only think that he would foul just so they could get another offensive play and shoot it. I don't know why he fouled him.
so the margin right now is 34 points, 88-54. And now Raekwon Young getting some points at the free throw line. A reminder to the Roxamore Sports Network fans, stay tuned after the game to check out interviews from coaches and players following the final buzzer. Once again, we'd like to thank you all for joining us here on the Roxamore Sports Network. Make sure you go to our website, www.roxamoresports.com, to see what we have going on throughout the month of February. So the final score, 90-54. We'll be right back with the post-game presser.
Roxamore Sports here live at Bashir High School, where Allderdice just got a victory. Westinghouse Bulldogs. I'm here with the primetime player, Tony Henderson. He led all scorers with 20 points. And Tony, you are a slasher, and you are a big-time player. Can you talk about your game tonight?
Yeah, I just wanted to go hard because last time we played Westinghouse at home, they were like up and up with us. We won by 10, so we had to make a statement. We wanted to get to 7 in a row, make history. So I gave it my all.
And so the lady, Allderdice Dragons, came out and won impressively.
Yeah.
And so the Allderdice Dragon men's division had to do the same. And again, you led all scores with 20 points, knocked it out. So y'all punched y'all ticket to the Peterson Event Center playing against the Obama. Tell me a little bit about that.
It's gonna be a real exciting game. You know, that's our rival. We always had a heated games against them, and they've been talking on a lot of stuff. So we're gonna go up and up. We're gonna bring it to them and get this championship.
So this is the Allderdice Dragons men's division. This is Tony Henderson, the primetime player who led all scorers with 20 points and looking to punch their ticket to get 7 championships in the City League. This is Roxamore Sports. I'm Sam Timbers, and we'll be right back. Okay, Tony. All right, man. Good game. How you doing, man? Good to see you, too.
How your sons doing?
They're doing well.
We welcome you back to the Roxamore Sports Network post-game report. Travis Newton here with head coach of the Allderdice Dragons, Devin Crummy. Coach, your team came out hot. They had a little bit of a stall in the second quarter. What was your message to your team after getting punched in the face in that second quarter?
You know, Westinghouse is a really tough, aggressive team, very athletic. Coach Wright has these guys playing hard every single night. We had a really tight game with them at our gym the last time on January 21st, so we knew that it would be a battle. We got into some foul trouble in the second quarter, so we just told our guys, refocus on the things we talked about, sharing the ball, playing good help defense, not getting too upset if something goes wrong, and I think in the third quarter we did a better job of that. We knew once we had the guys who had 2 fouls that were sitting on the bench in the second quarter, Tony Henderson, Blake Haber, Sean Graves had 2. We could get those guys back and avoid the foul trouble. We thought we'd have a good chance, and they showed it in the third.
And, of course, you guys will be playing on Sunday for the City League Championship. You're going to be taking on the Obama Academy. You've seen them before. What's your game plan to take on the Obama Academy and put your team in the best position to win that 7th straight championship?
Well, first of all, cross our fingers. I know that Obama's an excellent team. We had a great game with them at Obama. They have size. They have guard play. They have both of their guards healthy who have been out at different times this year. So we just have to really be ready for another battle and, you know, go against the team that finished second in the standings, but a really close game with us. So it's kind of like 1A versus 1B, and it's going to be a great championship game.
All right, Coach. Well, we'd like to thank you for joining us here on the Roxamore Sports Network, and good luck in your championship game.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
We'd like to thank you for tuning in to the Roxamore Sports Network. Make sure you visit our website at www.roxamoresports.com and keep it tuned in on our social media to see what we have going on throughout the rest of this week. We'll see you next time here on the Roxamore Sports Network.